If you're looking to blaze your own path to wealth creation by developing a system that is capable of delivering value to the marketplace in exchange for money, independent of your time and energy, man, have you clicked on the right video. Because in today's podcast episode, I'm going to open up a can of know-how, and this could 100% possibly change your life. My name is Nathan J. Bishop, and this is Maximum Impact Unleashed. What are the top 3 most important things in your life? If money were no object, what would you do with your time? What or with whom would you spend your time with? With loved ones? On improving your physical or mental health? Would you spend your time improving your happiness, how you felt about yourself deep inside? Let's label that what is most important to you. Here's another question. The thing you are currently doing to sustain your livelihood, is it enabling you to spend your time on doing what is most important to you, or is it preventing you from spending your time doing what is most important to you? If you're employed, either by someone else or self-employed, then the thing you are currently doing, yes, is making you money, but it is 100% preventing you from doing what is most important to you. Indulge me in a thought experiment. In a hypothetical world where being wealthy is equal to filling one's 1,000-liter tank to the top with water, there are 2 brothers, James and John. James is the older and John is the younger. James is the kind of guy who understands that there is no get-rich-quick, cheap, and easy approaches to wealth creation. And if he's going to eventually live an exceptional life, he's got to work and save his way to wealth. And so that is exactly what James starts doing. The goal, to fill his 1,000-liter tank all the way to the top with water. Then and then only will he be wealthy. The challenge, the place where he's going to get the water from, is 100 miles away from his 1,000-liter tank. Even though this seems like an incredibly challenging feat, James gets straight to work. He gets himself a bucket. The challenge, this bucket can only carry 1 liter of water, which means, best case scenario, James is going to have to walk 200,000 miles and he's going to have to carry 1,000 buckets of water, and he has absolutely got to be careful not to spill any of the water. But James is a roll your sleeves up kind of guy, and so he gets straight to work. Worst case scenario, which is actually more realistic, is James is not going to be able to work 24 hours a day. He's got to sleep, he's got to eat, he's got to rest. And what's worse, but it's just the way it is, James is just a man. He is going to fall ill along the way, but the challenge is, whenever James can't make the trips, James can't fill his 1,000-liter tank with any water, meaning no work, no pay. This is exactly employment. But James is a roll your sleeves up kind of guy, and James gets straight to work. And after 5 years, James has filled his 1,000-liter tank with 250 liters of water. He's gone 25% of the way. He's got another 75% of the way to go. And at this rate, James will finally reach his goal in 20 years. James's approach to wealth creation is a time and energy intensive approach to wealth creation. Now, let's explore James's younger brother, John's approach to wealth creation. John has got the exact same goal. He needs to fill up his 1,000-liter tank with water. The challenge is the place where he's going to get the water is 100 miles away from his 1,000-liter tank. Like James, John understands that there are no get-rich-quick, cheap, or easy methods to wealth creation, but he does believe that there is definitely a get-rich, cheaper, quicker, easier method to wealth creation. But instead of getting himself a bucket, John gets a pen and notepad and a measuring tape, and he starts making plans. John has been saving a percentage of his money so that he can put it away. And with that money, he buys a pump, pipes, nuts and bolts, and some shovels. With his spare time, John starts digging trenches, laying the pipes, bolting up the pipes, he erects a scaffold and connects the one side of the pipeline to the top of his 1,000-liter tank and connects the other side of his pipeline to his pump. John uses his time not to escape the life he doesn't want, but to build the life he does want. He uses his time to build his pipeline system. 5 years goes by and there isn't a single drop of water in John's tank. To James, his older brother, John has clearly fallen for a scam. He's been scammed. Why else would he be working for so long and have no money in his 1,000-liter tank? But one day, John walks over to his pump and switches it on. And in an almost ridiculously short amount of time, John's 1,000-liter water tank is filled all the way to the top. In fact, it's overflowing. But that's not all. John also sells his now overflowing 1,000-liter tank of water and buys a 100,000-liter tank of water, and that gets filled up in a short amount of time as well. Although this is a hypothetical scenario, there is a serious parallel to the real world, a world in which you and I live today. John's approach to wealth creation isn't a time and energy intensive approach to wealth creation, but a systems intensive approach to wealth creation. When people become wealthy this fast, the majority of society says, this guy is clearly a scam artist, he's clearly gamified the system, or he's clearly busy with some very shady activities. How else could you get rich that quick? Even though it's obvious to most that John's system-intensive approach to wealth creation is a much more optimal way to wealth creation than James's time and energy intensive approach to wealth creation, the average person in society will opt to go with James's time and energy intensive approach to wealth creation, which ironically never leads to wealth creation. The reason that is the case is because society has probably propagated this message to you, telling you that the best path to wealth creation is to trade your time and energy for more money. But just ask yourself the question, how many people do you know who've chosen a time and energy intensive approach to wealth creation, have retired at age 65, and are now wealthy, living an exceptional life? And by that, I don't mean that they've amassed a large amounts of money, but that they get to do what they want to do, wherever they want to do it, with whomever they want to do it with, without jeopardizing their livelihoods. Tell me, how many people do you either know or know of who've gone this route and are now living an exceptional life? Here's another question. How many people do you either know or know of who've chosen the systems intensive approach to wealth creation and are now living an exceptional life? If it's true that all the people you know of that are living an exceptional life have chosen a systems-intensive approach to wealth creation, then why, oh why, pray tell, would you do anything different? Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk are just 3 people among a plethora of individuals who've gone the systems-intensive approach to wealth creation and are now living an exceptional life. In fact, they are all billionaires. And what's interesting, none of them became billionaires before reaching retirement age. In fact, none of them are even close to retirement. There are 15 billionaires on the planet who are under age 30. 11 of those billionaires inherited their wealth, but 4 of those billionaires are self-made entrepreneurs. Every one of those 4 entrepreneurs have built a profitable online business. If it seems like it's impossible to work and save your way to wealth creation, it's because it is impossible. No one person can do it. You must build a system. You must build a system that is capable of delivering value to the marketplace, independent of your time and energy in exchange for money. That is the only way to become wealthy while you are young. Over the past 10 episodes, I've told a number of stories, some factual, some fictional, that highlight the path to living an exceptional life. Now, I'd like to tell my own story. In the year 2017, 2 monumental things happened in my life. Number 1, I signed up to complete my studies in mechanical engineering. This I would do full-time by day And number two, I began working night shift for the very first time in my career in mechanical engineering. At the end of 2017, another two monumental events took place. Number one, I completed my studies in mechanical engineering, and everybody says, yay! But number two, I was let go, aka fired from my job in mechanical engineering, a job my wife, my son, and I relied on entirely to sustain our livelihoods. I look back now and I cannot believe how reckless that was. Relying solely on a single source of income to sustain our entire livelihoods. You lose the job and you lose everything. And that is exactly what happened to us. We lost everything. We had to say goodbye to the house we had come to call home. We lost our car, depleted our savings, and after moving from family member to family member, we ended up moving in with my wife's younger brother, my brother-in-law, and I was sleeping on the couch. And despite going for countless interviews, which always ended with, you're perfect for the job and we'll get back to you, only no one ever got back to me, I could not land a job. And the only income I managed to secure during those days was through my ability and affinity for music. I could sing. You may have heard of the expression, you're going to sing for your supper. Well, that's exactly what I did. I sang at weddings and then I sang at funerals and then I sang at weddings and funerals. I sang at church and then I would sing in the club. And sometimes by mistake, I would sing the songs meant for the club at church. It was a complete mess. The problem is I was competing with people who were far more talented, far more qualified, and far more experienced than I was. And what made it worse is they were charging pennies for their services and I could not afford to live on pennies. I was flawed. I could not reconcile my current financial situation with my position as husband and father. Something had to change, and then it did. I did three things differently. Number one, I re-engineered the way I saw my gift and passion, going from seeing it as my biggest limiting factor, the thing I only made a measly and inconsistent income from, to seeing it as my biggest leverage point, the thing the market was actually prepared to pay me for. Number two, I shifted my focus from trying to outcompete my competitors who were far more talented, qualified, and experienced than I was to better understanding the needs and pains of my market, because if I could solve a much bigger problem for them, that would increase my intrinsic value to them. And number three, I made a commitment to myself. No longer would I trade my time and energy with the market to solve the market's problems, but instead I would build a system that was capable of solving that problem independent of my time and energy. And would you guess what happened? The market responded favorably. Not only was I able to build a system that would work for me independent of my time and energy, but we got to get our lives back. And while it wasn't much, I still remember the day we were handed the keys to our new home. And fast forward to today, my beautiful wife and I run a business predicated on equipping as many people as humanly possible with the skills to build a profitable online business in line with what they love. Thank you for allowing me to tell you that story. Now, I don't know what your current situation is, but this is my philosophy. It can be better. Whether good or whether bad, regardless of what the situation is, it can be better. And building a system that is capable of delivering value to the marketplace, independent of your time and energy in exchange for money, well, that could make life a whole lot better. And friend, I have got some serious news for you. Do you know that you are already uniquely equipped to drive the maximum value for the market in exchange for money? You see, people consume products and services, but connect with other people. From your past experiences to your personality, every single thing about you is what makes you uniquely qualified not to compete in the market, but to dominate it. If you become the best, you will become number one. But if you are yourself, you will be the only one. There is no competing in a market where you are the only one doing what you are doing. Done the right way, you can build a business and from that business make a fortune doing what you love. Let's call doing what you love what you are most passionate about. Here is my question to you. What are you most passionate about? What do you love doing so much that you would no doubt do it for free? In fact, it's what you are already doing. And because you love doing it so much, it is likely the thing you invest most of your free time into doing. And because you invest most of your free time into doing it, it is likely the thing you are most good at relative to the things you do. You see, this is a framework we teach all of our clients, and it is called the 3Ps framework. If something is to be considered your passion, it must tick these three boxes. Number one, pleasure. Number two, prolificacy. And number three, proficiency. There are already countless businesses making millions, if not businesses, predicated on the thing you are most passionate about. Your passion is 100% profitable. The key is in answering the question, how do you go from passion to profit? Here's a 3-step approach you could take. Number one, you first need to identify that which you are most passionate about. Number two, you need to package and position it to drive the maximum value for the maximum amount of people possible. Number three, you need to set up an automated system to convert total strangers into paying customers independent of your time and energy, leveraging the power of the internet. Now, in case you aren't sold on the size of this opportunity, there are approximately 8 billion people on the planet. 5 billion of those people are active internet users. If 0.001% of those people bought your product or service and you sold your product or service for $1, you would make 5 million US dollars. This isn't anything to be sniffed at. Yes, you will not be required to work in your business with operations, sales and marketing, and finance, but you will be required to work on your business, maintaining and optimizing the system that drives this value to the marketplace. Now, will this be easy? Absolutely not. Will it be worth it? Of course it will. This is exactly how you get to live an exceptional life. A life where you get to do what you want to do, where you want to do it, with whomever you want to do it with, without jeopardizing your livelihood. Answer me 2 questions. Number 1, are there already businesses making millions, if not billions, predicated on a thing you are passionate about? And if so, question 2, what is stopping you from doing the same? Done the right way, you could build a business and from that business make a fortune doing anything. Why not make that fortune doing what you love? And if I haven't made it abundantly clear by now, my preferred modality to build that business is to ensure that it is 1, passion-driven, 2, customer-centric, and 3, built online. But when it comes to online businesses, there's the right question to ask and the wrong question to ask. Let's begin with the wrong question to ask. How can I make money online? There are 2 reasons that this is the wrong question to ask. Number 1, it is short term and it's likely going to have you carrying a bag of poop. Let me explain. Seasons have cycles and the economy both booms and busts. And you don't want to take a long position carrying something that was selling today but is now on a down trend. That is how you blow your account. That is how you lose your money. But secondly, making money online isn't the goal. It is the vehicle by which we are able to obtain the goal. The goal is being able to do what you want to do, where you want to do it, with whomever you want to do it with, without jeopardizing your livelihood. Making money is a requirement. Just like fuel is a requirement for a vehicle to take you from point A, where you are, to point B, where you want and need to be, so too is profitability or making money in a business a requirement. Without the money, your business isn't going anywhere. While you don't need any money to start a business online, without the money, your business isn't going anywhere. So what's the right question to ask? I'll tell you, and I'll tell you for free. The right question to ask when it comes to making money online is this: how can I both do what I love and make money and leverage the power of the internet to gain the unfair advantage? Now, in case you aren't familiar with what the advantages are of building an online business, let me tell you. Number 1, you get to build your business with little to no startup or operating capital. Number two, you get to build your business from quite literally anywhere in the world, provided you have a phone, laptop, or desktop computer and access to a stable internet connection. Number three, you can automate the entire business process, from attracting customers to converting potential customers into paying customers to onboarding now paying customers onto your products and services and supporting customers. Done the right way, leveraging the power of the internet, you can build a business that automates the entire business process. The only thing that is standing in the way of you building a profitable online business and eventually living an exceptional life, and really, this thing is my challenge to you. You need to bet on yourself. And to bet on yourself, you need to believe in yourself. We must all develop within ourselves a confidence, not based on our abilities, but in spite of our abilities. Not predicated on the fact that we will not fail, but that in spite of failure, if we are willing to fail again and again, we will win. We will live an exceptional life. By the end of 2017, this is exactly what I had to do. When all I had was a measly and inconsistent income I made from music, I had to bet on myself and my ability, my passion. I had to go from looking at it as my biggest limiting factor, the thing I only made a measly and inconsistent income from, to looking at it as my biggest leverage point, the thing the market was actually prepared to pay me for. Here's my question to you. What are you passionate about? And are you prepared to bet on yourself so that you can live an exceptional life? In the next podcast episode, I'm going to be giving you some seriously actionable steps to building a profitable online business. This will 100% change your life should you take massive action. My name is Nathan J. Bishop, and this is Maximum Impact Unleashed.